Hey everyone, how are we going? Today we're going to go over a Kid Icarus deck, mono yellow for set 15, Saiyan Showdown, whatever set we're up to. This build was largely inspired by Giancarlo, and by largely I mean like 98%, with just a couple little changes here and there, so shout out to him. Great guy, makes great decks. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So it is a mono yellow Son Gohan, as the blue yellow version got absolutely neutered in the most recent ban list. So we'll go over the leader real quick. So permanent, if you have a skills battle card in play, your leader gains 5k power during your turn. Auto, when this card attacks, you draw 1 and take up to 1 life. Then awaken, if you got 4 or less life, you draw 2. On the back side, you got activate main once per turn, where you get draw 1, then play up to 1 skillless with an energy cost of 1 from your drop. Note, if you don't have a skillless, you can still draw 1. And if your opponent has a BMS and you have a skillless, you can still draw 1 and not play the skillless, so you're all good. Activate battle, when this card is in a battle, if there is a monster card in your combo area, you get to draw a card. So that's the leader. So it synergizes with skillless, it synergizes with monster cards. So we'll just leave this bad boy here, as we do with all these recent videos. Now, for the skills package, we have 2 Son Goku and Vegeta Jr. Saiyan Scions. So we use Saiyan Scion for a couple of reasons. So firstly, if you want, you can tick this up to 3 very easily, and the deck would still be perfect. So +1, you go choose this card and all your skills battle cards, and they gain 5k power. So if you're in the mid game and you've got a couple skillless played from your leaders, or if you have 2 of these in hand, I can show you what you can do with the 2 of them in hand later. You can plus up and you get a couple 15k swings for virtually for 1 energy. So you get a little bit more pressure, able to take a couple more cards out of your opponent's hand. Now, just a quick difference between 2 15k swings and a 20k swing. So 2 15k swings means your opponent's either taking 2 life, or they're losing, or taking 1 life and 1 card out of their hand, or they're just taking 2 cards out of hand. A singular 20k swing, while they can still get out of it with 2 cards out of hands, if they do take it, if they take 1, they only take 1 life. So if they're on 1 life, there's no difference between 2 15k swings and a 20k swing. But if they're on more than 1 life, you'd much prefer the 2 15k swings. So that's just that quickly. So that's the +1. The -1 allows you to play 2 skills battle cards with an energy cost of 1 from your deck or drop. So it can bring out our skillless guys for the leader to combo away, to draw cards, which is really lovely. But what's really good against Soul Striker and Cell Surge, and I guess just other decks that are a bit slower and like you to wait a bit longer. Turn 1, you can play this, swing for 10k, -1, get rid of these, get 2 skillless, swing both of them 10k, then swing your leader 15k. So you basically get 4 swings on turn 1, which is honestly quite good. Like, this is a very good aggressive card in like mid-range decks that run that small skills package. And then the -2 occasionally comes up. You shuffle 2 skills battle cards from your drop into your deck, then you draw 2. So if you played one of these on turn 1, like +1'd it, and you just keep +1'ing it and they never answer it, you kind of just get to draw 2 later on for free. But it's quite a nice card. Moving on, we have our skillless cards. So I am running 5 skillless High Dragons. So these are vanilla 1-drop skills cards, and they all have the monster trait. So all these High Dragon cards, so yeah, even though it has Gohan, these are all High Dragon. They're virtually the same card, just you're allowed to run 8 because they're technically 2 different cards. But all these High Dragon cards will draw you a card off your activate battle when you combo with it, and all of them can be played off your leader with that activate main. So it's quite good. I run 5. I was initially running 4, but the 5th one just allows for that a little bit more consistency in seeing it. So that's why we've gone up to 5. Besides that, the deck just draws a lot of cards. So against, I guess, like more aggro matchups or something like that, it's always nice to have one of these in hand to be able to activate battle on your opponent's turn to just go even and combo out like a 15k attack, which is really lovely. So that is these guys. So that's our skills package. So it's honestly not much. We're just going to keep our skills package right above our leader over here in this corner. But it's not much. So this is all we're running to initiate the draw on our leader. Draw it back because that looks a little bit nicer. So this is all we're running to initiate the draw on the leader. After this, we're going to talk about just our good yellow battle cards. So from the new set, we have 4 Turtles All Too Easy. Now, Turtles All Too Easy is the card yellow has been missing for a very long time. So it's got Double Strike. Auto, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. Then choose one. So you can either draw one or choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO. So for 2 energy, so you activate main, you got 3 more energy. You can play this from your hand for, and your leader's yellow sand. You can play this hand for this from your hand for 2 yellow energies. So you either get a 20k double strike that KOs 1 battle card in rest and draws a card, or KOs 2 battle cards in rest. So it's the exact card that yellow's been missing. It's like a consistent spot removal card, and Turtles All Too Easy like fits it perfectly because it's a little bit of pressure. It's a little bit of pressure. It can draw you a card if you only want to get rid of one of the battle cards, or it can just KO 2 cards. It's very, very good. Perfect for kind of what yellow was needing. And in typical yellow fashion, it's not like a big boss monster. It's just kind of something that you slowly beat down. And that's kind of how yellow has worked for a while. Just a slow beat down. No real massive boss monsters to finish off games like some other decks have. Then we have our Lord Slug Evil Invaders. This is the 1-drop for the Lord Slug package. Order, when you play it, draw 1. Then it's got to activate main for 1 yellow energy. You can choose one. You can either choose 1 Slug's Army card with the original energy cost of 3 or less in your hand and play it. And then you place this card in the drop. Or you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest. So it works quite well with Turtles All Too Easy if you just want to switch something to rest. But to go with this slug, we have our SR slug, which was played a fair bit in the other Icarus build. Sorry for the glare, by the way, today, guys. So it's got unique, got barrier, permanent bond 2. When this card's in rest mode, your opponent can't add cards from their hand to the deck using non-leader skills, which is quite nice. And it's got to activate main. If your leader is yellow or a Slug's Army, you get to discard this card from your hand. If you do play 1 Slug's Army with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, if you played 1 from your deck, you shuffle your deck. So that will search this. So if you have 2 of these in hand, that's kind of the same as having 1 of each, which is quite nice. So that, and then moving on to some of our other yellow battle cards that we run. We've got 2 Basil. I think Basil's just like a perfect 2-of. It's a 19k dual attacker for 1 energy that draws a card, but you can only play in like certain situations, and it's got unique, so it can't be played all the time if you just have 1 in hand. But it's a perfect 2-of in the deck. Applies a little bit of pressure onto 15k unisons, applies pressure onto leader, or even if they have like a 15k battle card you want to get rid of, you can just swing with Basil twice to that 15k battle card. Moving on, we have 2 Bardock Father and Son. So this was a card that came out in the Draft Box 4, and it's got to activate main. If your leader is yellow and your opponent has 3 or more energy, and Bardock Father and Son isn't in play, so it's like kind of got like a pseudo unique, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards in and switch it to rest mode. If you switched a card to rest mode, play this card from your hand. So this mainly synergizes well with 3 different cards in the deck. One is Turtles All Too Easy, another one is Poutine, as you'll see, and the third is Bergamo, which we've got right here. I'll talk about Bergamo in a second. But it's just a 15k body, and switching something to rest for Turtles All Too Easy is just way too tempting not to run this Bardock. It's something you can just kind of play for free, so it's a 15k body, which, as I said before, 2 15k bodies is better than a 20k body. So and just it applies pressure. It does basically just what you would love in a free play battle card. It does have that drawback that you can only play this if your opponent has 3 more energy. It's got the pseudo unique, so it's a good card in general, and just suits what I'm trying to do with this deck really well. And then moving on, we have the 1 Bergamo, of course. Auto, when one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode by 1 of your skills, play this card from your hand. Auto, if your leader is yellow or you 9, when this card is played, choose 2 of your opponent's energy, 2 of your opponent's battle cards or energy, and ignoring barrier, and switch them to rest, which is quite nice. So if you switch a card to rest in your opponent's turn, you can basically stop their turn with Bergamo. It is limited to 1, so we only run the 1. And then we also have 1 Swift Retaliation Cooler, because Cooler is a good card. That's about it. Counters are always really nice. Let me, like normal, quickly lay this stuff out in the corner. So we've got the 4 Turtles All Too Easy, 3 Slugs, 3 slugs, the 2 basil and 2 bardox, and then these bad boys. So that is that. Moving on, we have, oh gosh, you cannot see this whatsoever. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to just jump over here, go bam, boom. No glare. Look at me go. Okay, let's continue. Now we've got the, I suppose, extra card package, as I'd like to call it. So we start off with the obvious 4 power of the Super Saiyan. Now, it does get quite awkward. So, mainly on turn 3 is where this card is a little bit awkward. So actually, I'll read out what it does first. So, as a counter attack, we just 1 energy counter attack if you want. Permanent, if you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this card's activate battle skill without paying its energy cost. Activate battle. If your leader is mono yellow, you get to draw a card. Then you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, switch it to rest, and you can't activate battle on copies of this card for the turn. Now, the reason it gets a little bit awkward is turn 3, a lot of the times you're going to tap 2 for a turtles all too easy. And then you'll play a battle card that I'm about to show you in a sec. You'll play like a negate for 1 energy, and that's your 3 energy. So you on turn 3 you don't get like your correct value out of Power of the Super Saiyan. But besides that, it's just an insane card, and it's one that you, I guess, always run because it's a free rest something, draw 1. So it just means like your opponent attacks with 1 less card a turn, which is just incredible value. Moving on, we have our 3 Vegeta Final Flash. I think Vegeta Final Flash is just a good card. I had it at 2 before. Recently ticked it up to 3 to see how it goes. But it's got Activate Battle. If your leader card is yellow, you choose one of your leader or battle cards, give it 15k power for the duration of the battle. Although if all your energy is yellow, when this card activates, when you activate this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier and negates the skills for the turn, which can be quite nice. Then moving on, we have 2 of the sparking negate-ish kind of thing. So counter attack, if your leader card is mono yellow, negate the attack, then choose 1 Frieza's army. Then play 1 Frieza's army card, and it gains blocker. Then permanent, if you've got 5 or less life, you can add a card from your life to activate this card's counter skill. So these are all the yellow extra cards we run on the deck, and we run 9. I think 9 is the correct number to run, just because how many cards rely on having extra cards. So let me just fix that up. You can see a bunch of Vegeta's Final Flashes. So the cards that rely on a bunch of extra cards is we have 4 Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte and 4 Son Goku Steadfast Alliance. So both these cards basically have the same permanent, which is if your leader is yellow, and then you can reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each extra card, yellow extra card in your drop or in your energy. Son Goku has in the field as well, but we don't run any field cards. But these are like the bread and butter defense of the deck. So I'll go over Riposte first. So Riposte is a counter attack with 15k body. When this card is played from your hand, for each time your opponent will attack with a non-unison card, they must switch one of their cards in active mode to rest mode. So it's not like a traditional Floodgate where it kind of just ends turns, but your opponent is like wasting resources, I guess, to attack. So like they're switching cards to rest. So they're limiting the amount of attacks they can do, and then they'll be like switching energy to rest. And if they ever switch energy to rest, you've kind of got your value out of Riposte straight away. And then the other one is Steadfast Assistance, which, so the permanent to reduce the cost is only on the counter attack, but it's got, on counter play, it's got a counter play. The battle card being played is switched to rest, and you draw a card. And then you get to play this card, and it's a 5k blocker. So that will basically, for 1 energy, stop 2 attacks and like draw your card, which is really good. You can, against aggro matchups, you can stop a thwarting from being played, or against a style matchup, you can stop a SS4 thwarting from being played. But it's just an insanely good card that basically does everything you want. So these are like your bread and butter defense, and they're insane. They win you so many matchups. I guess not like win, but like they do your defense exactly as you want, I guess, defense to be done, right? So honestly, really, really good package. I would say you want 9 yellow extra cards in total. How you split it up, you definitely go 4 Power of the Super Saiyans, and I think you definitely go 2 of each of these, but if you want to go 3 Frieza Army Reinforcement for free, for example, reinforcement is always just a generically good negate, so feel free to do it. It's something that I've definitely considered, considering now we're not running blue-yellow, you don't have as much energy to really abuse Vegeta's Final Flash as you did in previous formats. Now moving on, we have two SS Trunks Altering the Future Unison. It's dual attack +0. You choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and energy costs 4 or less, switch it to rest mode. Oh, sorry, no, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode. Then if it has... hold on, let me read this. So choose one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. If that card has energy cost of 4 or less, negate its skills and KO it, which is quite lovely. Can deal with Piano and King Piccolo matchup, just get rid of it. But it also has another one, -3, draw one card. Then choose all your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. So it's a board wipe for 3 energy. So you tap 3, get 2 20k swings in, which is either 1 life, 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, or 1 life and a super combo out of your opponent's hand, or it's 2 life, or it's 4 cards out of your opponent's hand, or 2 super combos. So honestly, bunch of it's a very good card, very good card at out resourcing your opponent. Then honestly, an MVP of this deck at the moment is Poutine. So Poutine, very unique. If your leader card is yellow when an opponent's card is switched to rest mode by one of your skills, you can play this card from your hand. Or when your opponent plays a battle card using a skill or activates a counter skill, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So Poutine is basically just like a once per turn, I'm just going to switch one of your battle cards to rest mode. And it works wonders. Poutine really works wonders. It puts in a lot of work on defense, and you trigger it so easy with Power the Super Saiyan, with Bardock, with Mecha Frieza, Robotic Riposte. It really puts in a lot of work, and a lot of times they'll play something, you'll switch it to rest with Poutine, and then just kill it with Tails all too easy. Poutine honestly single-handedly makes the King Piccolo matchup extremely favored, because they're going to once per turn play a battle card with a skill from their life. Like once per turn they are playing a battle card with a skill, and then you basically just switch it to rest mode, then swing at it with your leader, or you swing at it with like a Turles, or you just play a Turles and KO it. Like Poutine puts in work in that matchup for sure. The other black battle card we run in the deck is Secret Identity Marseille. Once again, this deck still doesn't have like the best removal. Yellow never has the best removal, and I think just adding more removal is probably better than the Fight Against Fate. The other thing is, because our deck is so reliant on this defensive package with all our extra cards, if you don't have 2 extra cards in your energy, you have like 1 in your energy, 1 in your drop, then if you overwhelm, you're kind of just like killing your defense. So you don't want to run 2 overwhelms in the deck, but this can quite easily be swapped out for Fighting Against Fate. Moving on though, we currently running 2 Max Power Kamehamehas. Max Power Kamehameha is in there for cards like Kefla, for Fighting Against Fate, for Gogeta thwarting the SS4, actually both Gogeta thwarting the Dark Empires. But basically, it's got a counter attack, negate the attack, then you can whoop 4 cards from your drop area. If you do, you add it back to hand, which is just pretty neat. Then it's got Activate Main, choose one of your opponent's battle cards that energy cost greater than their current energy, and send to their owner's war, which is just great. It's more spot removal, which is kind of what yellow is lacking. This card could quite easily be moved into the side if you're looking at a best of 3 event, which Nationals most probably will be. Moving on, we have our super combo package. So we run Zamasu. I think Zamasu's too good of a card not to run. It's just that extra bit of defense for when you need it. It's an extra card to switch something to rest, to trigger Bergamo, for Turles all too easy to KO something, to trigger Poutine. If you've got Riposte down and then you Zamasu something, that's like an extra attack you're stopping. So Zamasu really puts in the work for those who don't know what Zamasu is. It's a 0-10k super combo that's live like all times of the game, not 4 or less requirement, which is another bonus. So if your leader card is blue or yellow, when you combo with this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's leader or battle cards and switch it to rest mode. Doesn't ignore barrier, but still an insanely good card. Then moving on, we have our one Kai, which is our Champa. The reason I'm running Kai over Champa is my Champas are in other decks, but it does the same thing. When you combo with this card, choose up to one of your cards and against double strike. It's a 10k, 10k combo to give something double strikes that will either just like help in clearing a unison, or it will just kind of finish off the game. That's basically what Kai's used for. And finally, we have our Supreme Kai Time SCR. Now, when we talk about SCRs in this current format, in this current meta game, it's a real conversation, I suppose. So you've got stuff like the Panzino SCR, you've got Wicked Saiyans for yellow and green decks, you've got, I guess, the SS4 Vermilion Unigate. You have a lot of really good SCRs in this format, which is really good and really nice to see. It means like people can put their own spins on decks. The reason we run Kai is this deck is meant to slowly out advantage your opponent. So we're not ever like killing them super fast, right? Like you got Lord Slug, which stops them from drawing cards. You got Turles, which is just meant to KO a card and like draw a card once per turn, basically. You got Basil, Faded Rampage, which is just basically like a 19k dual attack. Doesn't really do much, but as a whole, the deck actually doesn't do much pushing, right? And Kai kind of fits into that. Not much pushing. I'm just going to consistently out advantage you. And I've played like a bunch of matchups against the Soul Striker deck I just posted yesterday or the day before. Don't know when I'm posting this video. I've played it against like Gogeta Xeno, and I've played it against Cell Surge. Not so much. What I'm about to talk about doesn't really matter against Cell Surge. I played against King Piccolo, and what you end up doing is you basically just try and clear their board every turn, which is, I guess, something that's quite unique to Yellow, because Yellow hasn't really done this before, and something Yellow's trying to do with Tails All Too Easy now. And it's like, especially against decks that, well, you just don't let their unisons stay on the field. So if they play a unison on 2, you can't just swing it with all you got and try to get rid of it. And then if it survives, then next turn you can play Kai and get rid of it. Yeah, I don't know. Kai, I think, is still just the best secret around the deck. Wicked Saiyans is something that you can definitely try out, because either resting 4 of their cards, which is kind of like what Yellow does, because mind you, you can do it on your opponent's turn, which is even better. Like you could pay 2 to rest 4 of their cards on their opponent's turn, or they discard 2 and you get a dual attack, 40k dual attack blocker, which is quite nice. So you definitely have options for your SCR. You could run Panzino, of course, because I guess you are playing a couple battle cards with like your Skillless guys, your Steadfast Alliance, your Mech Freezer Robotic Approach, so you are going to be getting a couple battle cards onto the field. But the main point of this deck is to have a massive hand, and use that massive hand to have answers to what your opponent's trying to do. When playing this, you're going to have to be very careful with what you're spending your energy on, as you don't have much energy. You've got 0 untap in the deck, Leader doesn't untap with Awaken, you don't have Aegis anymore, so it's a very different style of deck. We're not running Sensu Beam, we're not running Blue-Yellow, this is the mono-yellow version of the deck, but I think it has a lot of potential, so don't be surprised if you see this deck popping up a bit at regionals. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the list. Once again, shout out to Giancarlo for helping, basically just giving me a lift and being like, this is how you play Icarus in the format, and I totally agree. This is 100% the way to go with Icarus. The deck just plays so well. You have answers to your opponent doing stuff. It's a really enjoyable deck to play. If you don't know what to play and you do like the way kind of Yellow works with just resting stuff and then slowly controlling your opponent that way, definitely give Icarus a go. It's really looking good in this format. Anyway guys, I'll let you go. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry it's a bit of a longer video. Again, trying to cut the length of my videos down, but I guess we'll slowly get there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you like to see in the comments down below. Besides that, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys later.